Welcome to Roxtalks, the podcast that helps network marketers grow their business on social media. And this month is an exciting month because each episode is going to highlight a different network marketer that I have the pleasure of working with my coaching and with social stories. I got to tell you, the first one you're going to meet is the fantastic Nancy Wilde. Here's a few exciting things about Nancy Wilde. I've had the pleasure of knowing and working with Nancy for just a hair under 2 years. And through that time, I've watched her really transform her business and actually transform to a completely different network marketing business as she grew. And she'll tell you about how she's grown and why. But she's in network marketing for 6 years now. So she's been in network marketing for a bit, has had success, but her success now is just so exciting. It's the journey of finding your brand and identifying who you are. And using that in social media to really grow. Nancy is a mom and wife. She has 3 kids. She's an empty nester. I'm giving you all these little tidbits. She is a dog lover and has 2 dogs, although sometimes there's like 5 over at the house. It's just a thing. And she also happens to be very passionate about health and fitness and helping others find on their health and fitness journey. You will find, and when you follow her on social media, you'll find that she is an amazing cook. She has her own, she knows who she is. And it's funny because you'll hear her talk about that. And she is just a delight and a great, not only person to know. I am always excited when I get to coach Nancy, but I think what you're going to find is that her journey could very well be your journey when it comes to network marketing. And I'm excited for you to hear not only how she switched from one company to the other, but what she's learned along the way and how she's used that and leveraged that to really grow in a bananas way. So I can't wait for you to meet Nancy. Here's Nancy Wilde, as I like to call her, Wild Nancy. It's our anniversary. It's our anniversary. Yes, I'm singing. Why am I singing? Because it is the Social Stories membership anniversary, 2 years this month of June, which is unbelievable and so exciting. And I'm humbled and just again, exciting because I get to see transformations of network marketers like you all the time. So I thought, what's the best way to celebrate our anniversary? Oh boy. And then I picked all of the ideas and we're doing all of them. For the Roxtalks podcast, I'm excited to share with you that this month you're going to get to hear from actual Social Stories members who have been in the community for various amounts of time and learn and hear about their journey. I'm so excited for you to listen to what they've got cooking. And here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Take a listen and ask yourself, is there a transformation in what you're hearing from them that you would like to have? Is this a space that you want to be in? And the reason I say that is because it is our anniversary month and I want to invite you to a very special, sounds like an after school special show, right? A very special webinar. Every week this month, I'm going to be doing a live webinar where I want to get to know you and I want you to get to know me. And I want you to get a chance to know the Social Stories community and see if it's the place where you need that word, flourish, need to have to flourish. Yes, I'm rambling, but go with me here. I want this to be an opportunity for you to see if Social Stories is right for you. And if so, you're going to have a special opportunity to join us as part of the anniversary. So if you're interested, if you want to know more, if you're ready to take your business to the next level, if you have a need, yes, I use the word need, that we need to work on, right? Whether it's, golly gee willikers, I'm so tired of being my best customer. When Social Stories might be for you. If it's, I'm ready to grow and recruit and get more people doing the same thing I'm doing, Social Stories may be for you. If maybe it's, I want to be in a community of people who care about me and are supportive of me and help me become a better network marketer and a human, Social Stories might be for you. So come to the webinar, hear a little bit more, ask any questions you have, and see if you want a little more of this in your life. Simply go to socialstoriesmembership.com/webinar. All the information will be right there. And I cannot wait to see you at the webinar. Remember, we're doing at least one each week. All the details are going to be on there for you. And I cannot wait to see you live. Take care. Nancy Wilde, as I like to call you, Wild Nancy. How are you doing today?
I am good, Roxanne. Thank you.
Good. I'm really excited to talk to you because your story and your journey as a network marketer, I think, is so poignant and is very inspiring. So I'm glad that we get to dive into it. And I'm glad you said yes to coming on the Roxtalks podcast.
Even though I wondered why. What do I have to share, Roxanne?
Isn't that true though? Don't we all like, I find a lot of people think that like, you want me? You like, why would you want me to come talk? Well, because you're relatable and fantastic. So a little bit about Nancy, you heard me talk about her in the intro, but Nancy, what I want to talk to you about today is really, well, let's start at the pseudo beginning. How long have you been in network marketing?
About 6 years.
Okay. Being in it for 6 years and with a couple different companies, what is the biggest change you see now compared to what things were like when you started?
For me personally, or the environment, the whole network marketing?
Both would be great.
Okay. So for me, I would say confidence. At first, it was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this thing. I really like what I was selling in the beginning, but gosh, I just wanted to tell people about it quietly because I didn't want to look like one of those girls. I just didn't think I could do it. There's no way. I didn't have an audience. I barely had a Facebook page. So that's the biggest thing. But how it's changed, everyone seems to be doing it now. And you can be so successful. And it's so much fun. And it gives you it just affords so many opportunities, whether you want a second job and a second income, or you're at home with kids, or like myself, my kids all graduated from college and they left. They left home, and I thought, what am I going to do with myself? Gosh, I have to reinvent myself. So that's probably the biggest thing I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like what you said about that, how anyone can do it. Like before, it maybe didn't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps the last year has kind of made that a thing as well, too, in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
So you and I found each other. You found me. We're coming on, well, a year and a little over a year and a half. It'll be 2 years.
2 years. August. I think in July. 2 years. Oh, I could pull out my journal and find the first one we ever did. I'll have to do that. Yeah.
I love that. So one of the things I think is interesting about you, and you know that I'm always about like become the CEO of you, and you set the tone, is that you started, I want to say, by doing the 5-day stories challenge, didn't you?
You know what? I did. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things I looked into. And even that was overwhelming for me. I remember thinking, no, slow down. Wait, I got to take another note. I'm supposed to do what? And I didn't even know how. So I reached out to you to say, I need a remedial class. I need a step-by-step beginners for the beginners. And it was good for me.
Well, I think a couple of things there. First of all, the fact that you said, oh, wait a moment. Like it was not the pace you wanted, but you didn't say, I can't do this and like quit is huge.
Oh, no, I wanted to. I'm not going to not be able to do this. So let's go to the source and say, how can I be able to do this? Can you do something so I could follow along?
You took control of your destiny, of your business in that regard. And I think a lot of people would, at that point, if they start doing a challenge or something, go, I can't do this. And they just like, it's not for me, and wouldn't even stop and go, wait, how could I make this for me? So like seriously, snaps to you. And you don't know this, but well, you reached out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember you using the word remedial class. But what you did say is that you wanted and would benefit from more one-on-one coaching.
Yes.
And in a lot of ways, Nancy, just so you know, I really think that you were the birth of, or you had the impetus for the elite program that I do, where I have coaching part of. So it's like the membership plus coaching, because you were like, that's not the way that I learn. I need it this way. And here we are almost 2 years later.
And I do think a lot of people, I think those group things are great, but I honestly do think so many people would benefit, even if it's just a couple one-on-ones. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of takeaways that you cannot get when you're coaching 100 people,
Yeah. When it's made for the masses and not made specifically for you.
Yeah.
So you've had custom time, and it has we see each other quite regularly.
Yes, we do. Now let's just say that.
What'd you say?
I said, you're on my speed dial. Let's just say that.
Here you go. And you know what I love too? We came on today and you're like, oh, you're wearing makeup.
You're dressed. Yeah.
It's early when we see each other. Yeah. But when you look back, and I love that you have journals that you've kept from day one of coaching now. Yeah. What were you like on that first day?
Oh goodness. Like I said, it's just lack confidence. Like there is no way I could do this. And so I had a business and I had a team. I probably had a team of like 30 people. I didn't know what I was doing. My motto was, I just fly by the seat of my pants. And it was working. And I think it was working because what you had taught me was that people trusted me. And so I had my network of people who trusted me, and I wasn't going to tell them about something that really didn't work or wasn't good. So I was just insecure. I was a stay-at-home mom. I have a couple different degrees in different things that I never really used. But I definitely loved helping people. Deep down, that's the biggest thing. If I could help people, doesn't matter what it was about. Living their best life, being healthy, exercising was obviously the biggest thing that I helped people with, but I didn't know how to go about it, bottom line.
Yeah. It's funny you say, and you mentioned confidence a couple of times, because I was actually doing a one-on-one with Rochelle Suggs, which you need to meet her. She's fantastic. And she said to me, you'd love her. She said, what you give us is confidence. Like, and I was like, can I write that down? And it's not that you don't have it, but realizing that who you are is enough to rock your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did not, and I remember, like, what I love about you though is you're like, yep, I'm not going to do that. Or you're like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And like, you're like, I didn't really enjoy it. You are big on like doing what you love, and if you don't love it, not doing it. Would you agree with that?
100%. And I have to be comfortable. It's got to be authentic to me. And it's funny you remember that. I did say that from day one. Like, and I'm not going to do whatever it was. And there are other things that you taught me. A lot of it could have come from, I'm not comfortable doing this right now. So you did teach me, because I've eventually come around with so many things that, I'm doing that now.
Yeah.
I think I told you the other day, you get to that age where you sound like your mother. I said to you, I've gotten to that stage of where I sound like Roxanne. Now when I talk to people, well, have you reached out? Have you made it? Yeah. So,
I love that. That's you mentioned you're with a network marketing company. You're not with the same one necessarily anymore. Was that even something that you thought was going to happen?
That I wouldn't be with it, you mean?
Yeah, that you would join another network marketing company, like when we started.
No. And honestly, people will ask how I came about even looking at another network marketing company. Yeah. And I always tell them I was doing a training with my business coach, being you. Remember, my life coach? Wait, we really have not come up with a title for you, for me. But I have said that, I was saying to you that I love this and I wish my people were doing more and I really wanted more out of it. And you truly said, well, have you thought of a second one? And I said to you, I don't know what I do. Like, what? And you said, what do you like? And that's kind of how it took me to this latest thing. Yeah. In a roundabout way. But I didn't know. I didn't ever think I could.
I think it's funny because most people don't join network marketing with the business in mind, in the sense of, I'm going to pick something that I know my brand, I know what I love, and then I'm going to pick a company that matches that. We don't do that.
No.
We buy something from a friend or some product we like, and they're like, okay, I guess I'll go into business. And it may not be that we are even like passionate about that thing.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of wedded to it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you're also told, like, this is kind of the only thing you'll ever do. Like, don't even talk. Oh, don't say that word. You didn't look at a second one. So they put the fear of God in you.
Yeah.
So
which is too bad.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, because the whole point is, well, again, you being you. And if we need multiple streams of income, then what's wrong with another?
And you can love more than one thing and be passionate about more than one thing.
Yeah. It's been interesting watching you. And it's been a joy, really. But I want to go to that. So, and feel free to say what company you're with. That's totally fine. So if you, tell me, because when you started, you were just kind of like, well, I'm doing it. Like you didn't even take it really seriously. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And this is my company now, the one that I'm really doing, that I love. Yeah. Oh yeah. I told you, I said to you, you said, well, what would interest you? And I said, if Lululemon pulled out of stores today and said they were going to do it only online and with network marketers, I would be the first person to sign up. I love athletic wear. I have a fashion degree. Like, I just love all of that stuff. And that's how you introduced me to Savvy. And I thought, oh yeah, this is it. This is fabulous. And at the same time, a friend of mine, said she had found a new company, and it was Modere. And do I take collagen? And I said, yes. And she kind of schooled me on liquid versus powder. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And so I joined her just to be nice. Honestly, I love the girl, and I joined her just to be nice. And I thought, okay. And I took the liquid collagen faithfully every day and loved how it made me feel. But I was still doing my athletic wear. Loved it. Loved everything about it. However, the liquid collagen just took on a life of its own. It just exploded. And then I thought, well, I'll try some of these other products because they've won awards, so why not? And again, had huge success with that. So I'm with that, doing so well and happier than ever because I'm enjoying it so much and I'm helping so many people. And that goes back to, I think, why I like this kind of business is helping people.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny, and I should mention, when you were looking into to fitness or athleisure wear, you looked at all of the known.
I looked at everything. Looked at everything.
Yeah.
So, and quality was important, and variety, and there were a lot of things I loved, and I still love. I love the athletic wear. So it's just kind of what took on a life of its own. And I remember that conversation with you, where you would say to me, you tell me what you want to focus on. You tell me what you want. So it was like the athletic wear. Let's post about this. And how should I spin this? And, there's new clothes every Friday. How should I do that? And then it kind of got to, I'd say to you, well, no, collagen. Oh, well, Modere this or Modere that. You said, well, wait a sec. I kind of am sensing we're going more in the Modere direction. And I said, well, yes, without meaning to, something's happened. So again, I always say that God had different plans for me. It really wasn't. I thought I wanted athletic wear, but no. So,
but no, and I call you the collagen queen now. I do, and because you are, and we'll talk about it in a second. But it is I love the fact that you kind of went where you're being pulled.
Yeah.
But you have never forgotten what your main goals are: helping people.
Yep.
And you've never let the grind that can happen in any network marketing business pull you or suck you in.
Yeah. No.
I remember you were talking about your team had is it like daily office hours or something? And you're like, I will not, because I run on those days. I will not be going to those.
It's the power hours at 8:30 every morning. And I'm in the middle of my run. I am not switching that up. And I just kind of told them, so I'm not going to change. And I do jump on. At different times, and they have replays, and I'll listen to it even when I'm running sometimes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I just don't want to change.
And you shouldn't have to. You already know your priorities. And I think that's a good reminder to everyone. Like, you don't have to become your upline or your team lead or your company. You find and work it for you. So I remember when a few months, honestly, if we're being honest, you probably didn't really start working, officially working your Modere business until 2021. Is that fair to say?
Probably about November, end of November.
Okay, November.
Yep.
All right. And I'm going to take this a little more seriously because things are happening and collagen is amazing and people care about this. Can you tell us, and I actually don't remember the number, how many people do you have on your team now?
I think I'm probably up to about 22.
Okay. The reason I mentioned that is because your other company you were with before, you said you had about 30 people on your team.
30, and that was over a 6-year span.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
November, and we're recording this in April.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I'm going to do my finger math. End of November.
Yeah.
January, February, March, April. 4 months.
January, February, March, April. Yeah.
And you're coming on, honestly, being pretty dang close to where you were in 6 years.
Yes. If you look at the levels, although they're called different levels, I am definitely at that level at my highest with Rodan and Fields. Mm-hmm.
So tell me, why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think a few different things. Collagen's a buzzword right now. It is the hottest thing on the market, and everyone is using it or wants to use it. And so now people are just taking notice that, the powdered stuff only absorbs X amount, and gee, it doesn't really work. And there's something better out there. And bottom line, if you're going to spend the money, make sure it works. Just make sure it works. So I think that's a big thing, and people are getting results. So I probably have about, I'd say, at least 30 people using collagen, maybe close to 40. Of those, I've had one person who said it didn't work for me. That same person said, I said, really? Like twice a day, 4 weeks in? Oh, I stopped after about 2 weeks. I just didn't think it was doing anything. So that I can't even use that as a fair judgment. So it works, and I feel that good. And I struggled for years with health issues. I struggled with joint issues from the health issues and the medication I have to take for Crohn's. My joint pain was horrible, in my hands mostly, but being athletic, being a runner, soccer player all those years, my knees also hurt. Everything hurt. I have no pain. Roxanne, I would go to the rooftop and scream that everyone should be on it. Like I could stop people in the street. I don't want to be that person, but I could and say, you just need to try this. If I had freebies to hand out to everyone, I would just say, just try this because it could be life-changing. And I think that's the biggest thing is my passion for it. And I said that to you at one time when you said, wow, you're so passionate about this. I said, Roxanne, if you had come to me and said, wow, I'm starting a new bacon business, I think this would be great. I don't care how good the bacon was, I could never sell it because it's something I don't believe in. Mm-hmm. Whereas health and being the healthiest and clean living and all of that is so me. So I think that's why I get excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd cook the bacon for your entire family, but you wouldn't eat it.
I'm not depriving my whole family.
And if you follow Nancy on social media, you'll get that joke for sure. It's so powerful. So when you join the whole, like I get excited, and it's become a joke now because we'll have I'm like, so how many new social connections did you get this? And how many more calls did you sell? And it's every time there's movement with that. I think you hit on a few things. Passion is huge. And then of course it's a hot topic right now, but let's go back to when you decided to it wasn't even November. I would say it was like a couple months later when we kind of honed in, because when you started, you're talking about collagen, but there are all these, I mean, how many products approximately would you say Modere has?
They have everything from collagen. So they have their hero products, which is collagen, and then an all natural weight loss. Mm-hmm. And then they have, now they have a new gut health, but then they have even things like toothpaste and shampoo and conditioner and vitamins, tons of different vitamins, from liver health to amino acids to digestive enzymes, so many things that you can easily do, like smoothies. There's stuff for protein powders for smoothies. And
so let's say thousands, really, if you do every SKU.
There's so many. Yeah, there's just so many. So, and again, I didn't even realize what I was sitting on when I was just selling the collagen.
Mm-hmm. Well, and here's the thing, when you started, and a lot of people in Modere, some do focus on collagen, but the weight loss is a big thing for them. Mm-hmm. Like that's and this is huge. And this is another spot where I was just so impressed with how you went about it, because you said, that weight loss, that's not really my thing. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like that's something that I want to present and put out there in social media. Like you were the CEO of you. But I remember when we were honing in, because you're like, this product's good and this product's good. Yeah. And I said, okay, what is if you had to pick one product, mm-hmm. what product would it be? You pushed back a little bit, but you narrowed it down for sure.
Yeah, I did. And it's the collagen. Like that mm-hmm. I still go back to the collagen. And even the weight loss part that I love more than anything, the trim has collagen in it. Mm-hmm. So it is still the collagen. And then they have the dog collagen, and that's helped my dog so much that I've sold people on the dog collagen because it helps. Like everyone wants, and that's a big thing for 2021. Dog supplements, everyone wants their dogs to be, the healthiest.
Absolutely. It was interesting, and I wish, everyone could have been a fly on the wall as we went through the process of you really deciding which product was the
Mhm.
one that you would be most excited about talking about. And
Yeah,
then honing in, because when you have 1,000 products, it's really tempting to be talking about so many different products all the time.
yeah.
And that's one of the traps that I think network marketers can fall into, because 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we were taught, talk about for example, with what you did before, every regimen, and make sure you talk about this regimen, and this time talk about this one. And when
Mhm.
you talk about so many, you become again a master of none of them, and people don't know you for that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So watching you over 2021 really hone in on, like, I'm going to talk about
Mhm.
collagen, and
Yeah.
that's why I call you the collagen queen.
I'll take
Because
it. Mhm.
you are, because it's so fun to see the responses you get, the engagement. You talk about engagement. We talk about engagement a lot on the podcast, and
Mhm.
you want to look at a profile that's getting engagement. It's yours. I didn't tell you this. Oh, I think Nancy Comish, she ratted me out. But like, I've used your posts, the ones we've worked on, and then you've just
Oh,
gone off and
yes,
made your own
yes.
to show people how to get different types of
Yeah.
engagement, because it's working. And
It's so
people are,
working. Yep,
well,
it's so
and
working.
you're rocking it. You're rocking it.
It's funny. I was thinking about some of the things that you said in the beginning. One of the things I struggled with most was when you used to say, um, who are your people? Right? Like, who is your person, Nancy? Who's your avatar? Who? And I was so trained to say, well, everyone with skin. Everyone's my person, Roxanne. And you're like, oh, no, no. Because that's what you're told, right?
Uh-huh.
And so it's amazing now because these are my people. These people, like, that's who's buying. And even with the collagen, when we discussed, what is it that you think? You said, what is it do you think that attracts people to this collagen? Like, what do you? And I really think it is the joint pain.
Mhm.
Like, you
Mhm.
can't say, oh, it helps your hair, skin, and nails, and you'll have this, and you'll have all of that is fabulous. The fact that my hair is growing and my skin is great, all that's great. But bottom line is, I took it, and I got most out of it is the joint pain, the relief from the joint pain.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and everyone is so active nowadays, and we want to stay active for as long as we can. And we beat our bodies up with Orange Theory and cross training,
Peloton.
Peloton, and yeah, Adrian Williams, and
I love him. I love
right,
him.
yeah.
Adrian, if you're listening, and I hope you are, we love you.
I took his weight class this afternoon before this, and yeah,
So did
absolutely.
I.
Yeah. So anyway, but we do, and I think that was the big thing. And it's not for everyone. And what's really interesting? This business and these products might not be for everyone, and that is really absolutely fine. And I
Yeah.
don't worry about it. And I mentioned that to you, and I can't tell you what the difference is, but my first business, if somebody said, no, 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 I don't want to try the products. Oh, no, I only want all organic and, no colors, no dyes, no this. And I want to be able to eat my products. I would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I don't have that customer now. What am I going to do? And now it's just like, hey, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
you do you. And that's cool. It doesn't bother me at all.
That's
Same with the
good.
business. Same with joining me in the business. I think it's fabulous, but it might not be for you. And I am a little more selective about who I'd like on my team. And, never prejudge. I have learned that, but it is. If you don't think it's for you, that's great. That is absolutely great.
Mhm. There's so many good nuggets of what you said right there. And I think I love that you are detached from the outcome of what happens when you talk to people.
Hmm.
It
Absolutely.
That gives you a lot of freedom, and you don't come from
Oh,
a place of,
yeah. And I think that is why I'm enjoying it more.
mhm.
I didn't, I don't know. I just, again, it comes down to I'm doing it because I really enjoy it and it helps people. And that makes me so happy. That brings me such joy. I can't tell you, for somebody to say, I was able to go for a run today because my knees aren't hurting, or I didn't have that hip pain. I had an 83-year-old man say, I feel like I'm 70 again. I have no aches, no pains, nothing. I feel great. And how about that? I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So that, I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, you know what I think as we look back on our time together, and I hope
Mhm.
we double and triple and quadruple that time together in the future. I think what's interesting is that what you've done, because you from the get-go were like, how can I make this work for me?
Mhm.
Is you ended up through that journey finding a new company.
Yeah.
B, you found a way to make what you're doing still be enjoyable where you're helping people, but make it simple. And I think doing like even a hero product, you could have picked from 1,000 products, but leaning into being the collagen queen. And I'm going to call you that. Maybe that'll be the episode of
Yeah.
Meet the Collagen Queen.
Gotcha.
Is you've made that simple. You know what you're going to talk about. Yeah, you might talk about other products once in a while, but you're going to talk about something that relates to collagen. But even when you talk about the collagen, breaking down what is the thing that matters to my target market, specifically about the collagen, it's joint pain. And then breaking down the target market, which I remember when you pushed me, you're like, but I have some men on my team. I want to include the men too. I don't like, no man is going to be like, she's not talking to me. But
No.
you've even honed that down and
Yeah.
you've made it all simple.
Yeah. And now I see the benefit of doing that. Because, and it's again, when I've turned into Roxanne, I will look at people's stories or I'll look at their posts and I'll think, oh my gosh, like that's just a nightmare. I have another word for it, but I won't use it. But it's a poop show. It's a poop show. Let's just say that the G-rated version. Like there's stuff everywhere. You don't know where to look. And it almost looks like, oh, and I can do this and I can do this and this will help you here and this will. And I think, oh, wow, like that's just too much. So it has. It's just keep it simple because there are other things at this company that Modern has that you might just love. And that comes out organically. Like that has happened so many times in conversation where my people no longer just get collagen. Like they are, wow, I didn't know you had a probiotic and a prebiotic. Tell me about that. Like it's so funny how it falls into a new BFF that you're like,
Yeah.
You have a what? Like, and it has collagen in it. And that just dawned on me when you said, what is that? And I said, oh, it's a body firming foam and it has collagen in it. So it actually gets rid of the dimples. You're like, what? I said, oh yeah, it's got collagen. No wonder it works.
Back to the collagen queen. Back to the collagen queen. It fits so perfectly.
Yeah.
It's just funny to hear you just talk so freely. I want to go back to your team for a second. You mentioned you've got a team of 20 some and growing.
Mm-hmm.
How has it been for them, or has anything changed with the way that you work with your team now?
Oh, absolutely. Because when I was with Rodana Fields, there was no leadership. And I'm not bashing that company. It's just the team I started on. I had no leadership. It was just kind of like, oh, go to the back office. Everything's great. You know, you're a boss babe. And I didn't get anything. I didn't learn anything. I've learned that I've passed on is from you, quite honestly. And it really is like, so now just the leadership and the camaraderie and the team we have, it is the neatest thing. Like even this morning when I was on one of the Zoom calls and how uplifting they are. Somebody on the Zoom said something to the effect of, I don't know, I'm just a loser at that. Well, bam, that was shut down. It wasn't a simple, you rock, you're a boss, babe, you own it. It was, they broke it down. They broke it down step by step. It was honestly, I mean, one of the girls were in tears and it was just it's so supportive. And I do love that because there are a lot of insecure people out there, And if you have failed at one company, then you just think you're a fail. I'll never be able to do this. And so going to my team now, the difference is I had some people who followed me from one team to another to this team who did nothing, and they're very successful on this team. That's like one who's hit a director position, team leader positions. It's amazing what they've accomplished. Like I am so stinking proud of these girls.
I love that because it's made you a better leader in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm. It's just to see the success, and it's just fun. Like one of the things we get paid twice a day. So
sorry, say that again. Twice a day.
We get paid twice a day, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. And it's just so much fun. It doesn't matter whether it's a $12.50, transfer that was just put in your account, or if it's a 25, 45, 125, I get like, I get text messages saying, this is the coolest thing. Like, there's $54 today I made. And I laugh. I'm like, yep, on collagen. Like, it's really, really cool. So,
well, what's interesting about that setup where you get paid twice a day or even daily is that you are treated like an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's funny. I don't think it's intentional, but when network marketing companies do that, you get paid once a month. You're really it feels a lot more like you're a contractor or you're working a 9-to-5 job.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. No, this is, and you also you still get the commissions and the once a month, but the daily pay is amazing. And when I was first talking to one of the top guys in this business, and he was saying
you can say his name, it's okay.
Justin Prince, who is just amazing. He's just so neat. But he was telling us about the daily pay, and he said, he learned a great lesson because he was talking to a woman, and she said, I just got a $12.57 check or something. And he said, wow, well, that's nothing. Just wait. She said, no, what you don't understand is I'm a single mom, and I had nothing in my bank account, and we ran out of milk. And I was able to go to the store and get a jug of milk and whatever else. And he stopped at that moment and he said, shame on me. Shame on me that I didn't realize like how significant that $12.50, whatever it was, meant to somebody. So now he's just like, you get daily pay. And it doesn't matter if it's a $5, and you can get it all day long. Like, I don't just get once a day. I get it throughout the day. It just happens to come through. And so some days there's 5 or 6 deposits that are in. And then, again, that could be $20 or $23. So it really is. It's kind of a lot of fun.
Oh, you're having fun for sure.
It's fun.
A little bit of a squirrel, but it kind of in a way helps people get out of the living from paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting paid every day, it's hard to keep track of.
Mm-hmm.
You are having fun, and that shines through and is so exciting. And what's interesting is as you are just having fun and suddenly like, oh, I just got a promotion. I just got another promotion. Like, that's really happening, and it's making me laugh. How do you balance that urge that can come for now that you're rocking it on pushing and grinding and sticking to your guns?
Because you know what? I was taught by this great Instagram coach that I'm not ahead, I'm not behind, I'm exactly where I need to be. And I took it to heart. I'm not sure if you've heard that expression before, but
that's a good one. I need to take that.
Take notes, because I am exactly where I need to be. And I really am. And I believe that I'll do great things with this company. And whether I do great things now, and even if it's just 2 bottles of collagen and I help 2 people, that's a great thing. Mm-hmm. If it's, 250, that is also a great thing. So it doesn't matter when I get there. I'm enjoying it. And yes, I like those levels. I really do. And to get to the percentage I get paid now as a director or a director 1 is huge compared to the beginning. Like, that's the difference between $12 put in my account and $20 to $30 each time. Like, wow, now I understand what the percentages are about, because I never did with the other one. Because with this company, you can make it on 2 sides, the promoter side where you have a team, but also a customer base. And you can be very, very successful just having customers. You don't ever have to build a team. But in Rodana Fields, I had to have that team. And boy, was that hard, because you're depending on everyone else. And to try to push people to be their best is one thing, but to push people to do well because you want to be better, that just didn't feel right with me.
Yeah. So powerful.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we cover everything you want to say. So is there anything else that you would want to add to those listening?
Gosh, you know what? Just listen to Roxanne. Listen to what, and I know you're not paying me for this.
I did not pay you.
I know. Okay, but let me just tell you, like, just some of the things I was thinking about, honestly, because I have texted you especially with this business, but I will text you and say, hey, I just got 2 sales out of that, or I got 100 people comment because I did it this way, the way I was trained to do. And you're like, go figure. Isn't that amazing? And it So you used to say to me, comment on people's posts, like get into their lives, find a niche or find a few of them. And it doesn't matter if you don't know her, just say, I love what you said. And hey, I'm taking that to heart, or I think I'm going to use that tip, whatever it is. And then you guys start following each other. And the next thing you know, she will say to me, she will say to you, tell me about that collagen. Like, when I was on the Peloton today and my knees were aching, tell me about that. And that is exactly how it's happened. I have gone from joining groups of people that I don't even know that now trust me. And that's what you were saying. You want to earn their trust because you want them to one day come back and say, gosh, I remember there was that girl. Oh yeah, it's Nancy, blah, blah, blah. And that, I would say that's probably, and that's what I tell people all the time. Go find, I don't care. And what I hear from people is, well, I don't have a Peloton or I'm not a runner. And I could say that, well, I don't have 3 babies at home. I can't post the adorable things my babies are doing. I can use my dogs because they're kind of cute, but I don't have that either. You find something. There is always something out there for you. And whether you love yoga, whether you love gardening, whether you crochet, lawn bowling, pickleball, I don't care. There are things, you can find things that you're passionate about. And that you find those things and you find those people and they will find you. So that's that honestly is the biggest thing. And that is what has changed my business from taking 6 or 7 years to growing to, decent level 4, whatever that was in that one company to 5 months. And now making more on that in Modere now than I ever did in the other company. So.
Oh, Nancy, wild Nancy.
Yeah. So it's fun. It is a lot of fun. And I have learned a lot and I share a lot.
Yeah. And you're doing great. And I don't want people to think that Nancy is a star student because she's not in a lot of ways.
Why don't we talk emails?
Let's talk live videos.
Live videos or emails. That's right. Yeah.
But you found what works for you. You try everything at least once, and then we work through it and find what works for you because you are I'm not the CEO of your business. You are the CEO of your business. And
but you give me the confidence to be that. And you give me the confidence to get out of my shell and to give it a try. And if it really doesn't work, if it's not authentic to me, then I can't do it. And I'm like, it just didn't sound like me. I just can't. But at least I give it a try.
Yeah.
So, and that is from you. So thank you.
Well, thank you. You've been a light and it's so fun to watch you grow and to watch you help people because I get to see how happy that makes you on a regular basis.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you, Nancy.
Alrighty, Roxanne. Have a good one.
Yeah, but one other question I should have asked.
Yeah.
If people want to find you and see what the heck you're up to, how do we find Nancy?
How do we find Nancy? Find Nancy at, Roxanne, you're the one who, why'd you tell? Okay, so on Instagram, it's, I believe, Nancy Wilde or Wilde. On Facebook, it's Nancy Wilde. On Peloton, it's Nancy Wilde. I've kept it pretty big.
You kept it pretty consistent, haven't you? Nancy Wilde, Nancy Wilde, Nancy Wilde.
Yeah.
And we'll put the links down below so that people want to find you or if people want to join you in Modere, they can find you do that too.
I can answer.
Thank you, Nancy.
All right. Thanks so much. See ya.
I told you that would be beneficial and I can't wait for you to give me feedback. I'd love for you to email me, Roxanne@roxannewilson.com or simply just find me on social at Roxtalks on Instagram. I'd love to hear what was impactful for you and what you heard that you're like, wow, I need that. I want that. I'm picking up what Nancy's putting down. Listen, this month, later this month, I'm going to be offering an opportunity for you to find a little bit more about the elite program that I offer in Social Stories that I mentioned in the interview that really coaching Nancy is one of the things that sparked that, because some people need more than an on-demand amazing program, social stories, but they need more of a personal touch. And if you're someone who needs that, or who's looking for that to take your business to whatever level you want it to go to, this is your opportunity. So I highly encourage you to just go to roxtalkspodcast.com and you'll see a link on there, or go to the show notes for this episode and there'll be a link for you to sign up for that webinar. Here's what I got really clear on as I was looking at you and my desire to serve and my mission to serve network marketers. It's very clear to me that that my passion, you know how Nancy's talking about her passion, my passion really is to serve network marketers who are not at the top of your game. That's great. You don't need me. Those who are at that spot where like, oh my gosh, I'm a few levels away from where I want to be. And I just really don't know how to get there. Or maybe I'm not resonating with my upline, or maybe I am, but I need something else. If that's you, I'm here to help you not only discover what it means to be the CEO of you and for you to develop your identity and brand, but to help you with your social media to get you to that point. And if you're listening and you are someone who already has hit those points and you're top dog in your company, I would love to help you with your downline. I know very well from doing network marketing, you get to a point where it's like, do I recruit or do I try and help who I have there? And it's that always that juxtaposition of which way to go. Well, I got news for you. If you're looking to continue to grow, let me help you with your team. Let me help you help them grow and help them learn and identify how to grow their business on social media while you do the recruiting. How does that sound? If that's interesting to you, go ahead, like I said, and go to the Roxtalks podcast page. You'll find out more information. There may be some information on the screen too, where you can you can find out how I can help you with that. All right, that is all we have for you. I should mention behind the scenes, we're recording this in April, believe it or not, because by the time you listen to this, I came back from vacation, and I was just really excited to hear and to dive into recording these, because I know that these stories each for the entire month are going to be so beneficial to you and give you some great guidance. But just so you know, it's end of April when it's recorded, and yes, it's end of April. What's going on? What's going on in the end of April? Just hanging. I am 19 days away from vacation. So that is what's going on. It's the focus on the Bahamas, but trying to get everything done before then is what I'm doing. And I'm just really excited. By the time this comes out, you'll have already heard about some of the great projects and the Reels templates that I've created to help those of you. So if you were like, oh, that's when she's working on this, that is when I was working on it. Also, interesting tidbit. I told you I started working with a coach and with a new coach and whatnot. And it's scary. Can you relate I'm so excited. And this coach I had written down on my vision, whatever you want to call it, that I'd be in his coaching program over a year and a half ago. And so here I am. And I am forcing myself to get out of my comfort zone. Sometimes we get so comfortable that it's like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna say? But it's been phenomenal. And I can't tell you yet, but something really cool happened related to that. And when I can tell you, I will be like, blah, and I'll be sure to tell you. Okay. All right. That's all. Hey, Nancy said it. I love it and I believe in it. And if you get nothing else from this episode, which I know there's so many great things, let me just remind you, you are not ahead. You're not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Thanks so much for listening to Rox Talks. And I can't wait to see you next week for another episode. Take care. Bye.